must learn the art of assumption, my friend. For the greatest secret hidden in plain sight is this: your world bends not to your current circumstances, but to your inner conviction. And so, when you desire to hold a space in someone's mind so deeply that they cannot fathom a life without you, you do not beg, you do not plead, you do not chase. You become that irreplaceable presence within your own imagination first. That is where all reality begins. Not out there, but within the quiet sanctuary of thought. Understand this: every interaction you experience, every word, every glance, every action that flows from others, springs forth from the unseen field of consciousness. Your consciousness. You think they choose to love, to value, to cherish, or to ignore by some accident? No. It is shaped by the persistent assumptions you carry about yourself and your place in their life. You want them to feel your absence before you ever leave the room. You want them to crave your presence like the air they breathe. Then in your mind, in the sacred theater of your imagination, you must already be that unavoidable force. You must already dwell in the belief that without you their world feels incomplete, their joy dimmed, their purpose unsteady. Most people live as beggars in their own mind, pleading for attention, longing for validation, hoping to be seen. But you are not most people. You do not beg, you declare. You occupy, you embody the version of yourself that they could never replace. And when you persist in that assumption, life has no choice but to mirror it back. Perhaps right now you feel overlooked, unappreciated, forgotten by someone whose attention you crave. That is not a punishment. It is a mirror reflecting the story you've been entertaining about yourself. You cannot demand the world treat you as unforgettable while secretly believing you are optional. That contradiction only breeds more rejection. But the very moment, you close your eyes and saturate your imagination with the feeling that your presence is essential, your energy irreplaceable, your absence intolerable, the world begins to shift. You see, imagination is not idle fantasy, it is creation. It is causation. It is the birthplace of every experience you call real. So if you wish to be the one they cannot live without, then first, within the temple of your mind, you must dwell in that reality as if it is already complete. You must walk through your day as though their heart beats to the rhythm of your presence, as though their thoughts are tangled with yours, as though their world lacks color, sound, and meaning without you. And watch how the outer world bows to the dominion of your inner state. Watch how they call, how they yearn, how they stumble upon you, as though by coincidence, but you know there are no coincidences in a reality governed by assumption. Most will say, but how? How do I make them need me? How do I make them miss me? They miss the point entirely. You do not make anyone feel anything through force or desperation. You mold their experience by first molding your own belief. If within you hold yourself as optional, dispensable, easily replaced, that is exactly what they will reflect back. But when you saturate your mind with the unwavering knowing that your energy is rare, your presence indispensable, your connection inevitable, life bends. And here's the beauty of it. When you dwell in that assumption, your energy changes. You no longer seek their approval, their attention, their affection from a place of lack. You become the magnet. You radiate certainty, confidence, and mystery. And humans are drawn to mystery. They are enslaved by it. They cannot resist what feels elusive yet essential. So you act not as though you need them, but as though they already cannot imagine their life without you. You move, you speak, you exist with the quiet conviction that they are bound to your presence by unseen threads of destiny. And they will feel it. They may not understand why, but they will ache in your absence. They will search for you in every crowd, hear your voice in silence, feel your energy in spaces you've long departed. For that is the law. Inner reality writes the outer script. So assume your role as the irreplaceable, the unforgettable, the one their heart cannot untangle from. And life, obedient as always, will follow. The first place any true transformation begins is within the unseen chambers of your imagination. That is where the architecture of your entire reality takes form. And so, when you desire to be so significant in another person's life that they cannot imagine a day without you, you do not start by convincing them, you start by convincing yourself. You assume it. You assume quietly, consistently, with unwavering conviction that you are irreplaceable in their world. You do not wait for evidence. You do not look for signs. You generate the reality from within, because all signs, all encounters, all expressions from the outside are nothing but the echo of the state you dwell in inwardly. Most people misunderstand the power of assumption. They believe it is merely wishful thinking, a passive daydream with no substance. But assumption, when practiced with discipline, becomes a command to reality. It is the seed from which every event, interaction, and relationship blooms. The world outside has no choice but to conform to the state you faithfully occupy within yourself. So if you desire to hold space in someone's heart, in someone's mind, to be the one whose absence leaves an undeniable ache, then your only true task is to assume that role now, without hesitation, without contradiction. It begins with the quiet narrative you tell yourself throughout the day. You must ask, who am I in their life? If the answer is one of uncertainty, of unworthiness, of optional presence, then that is the script you are handing over to the stage of life. But when your inner conversation is steeped in the belief that you are rare, that your energy cannot be duplicated, that your absence would echo louder than your presence ever did, then life bends to that belief. The other person begins to feel what you have already authored in the unseen. You must realize they are not separate from your consciousness. Their words, their actions, their feelings are directly influenced by the assumptions you maintain. Imagine for a moment that the bond between you and them already exists at an unshakable level. You do not need them to tell you this, because within the theater of your mind, you already hear them expressing it. You see them feeling incomplete without you. You witness them reaching for you, longing for you, desiring your presence above all else. This inner vision is not a game of fantasy. It is the blueprint of creation. You must return to this assumption repeatedly, as naturally as breathing, until it saturates your state of being. Doubt will whisper otherwise. Old patterns will attempt to convince you that you are forgettable, that you are easily replaced, that they could live their life without a second thought of you. But those whispers are echoes of former beliefs, and they only persist when you give them authority. Instead, you claim your irreplaceable space in their reality by saturating your mind with the assumption of your worth. You must hold it so deeply that it feels inevitable, so constant that the outer world has no choice but to reflect it back. When you walk through your day with this inner knowing, everything changes. Your energy shifts. You no longer wonder if you matter. You know you do. You no longer hope to be seen. You expect it. This certainty radiates from you, invisible yet powerful, altering every interaction, drawing them closer, anchoring your presence within their awareness even when you are not physically near. That is the subtle mastery of assumption. It operates beneath the surface, yet its effects ripple outward until what was once imagined becomes undeniable reality. Many will ask, but how can I believe something that feels untrue? How can I assume they cannot live without me when they show no signs of caring? The answer is simple but requires discipline. You do not react to the outer world as it currently appears. You create from the inner world as you desire it to be. You hold the assumption regardless of external evidence, because you understand that evidence follows belief, not the other way around. The world does not lead your imagination. Your imagination leads the world. Consider how easily people assume the negative, how quickly they believe they are unwanted, unimportant, replaceable. And what happens? Their reality mirrors that belief with rejection, silence, and absence. But if that same energy is applied to the opposite assumption, that you are valued, missed, desired beyond measure, the mirror must reflect that instead. It is not arrogance, it is alignment with the truth, that your state of consciousness holds dominion over your reality. You must practice this assumption as though it is already complete. When your mind wanders, you guide it back. When fear creeps in, you replace it with the image of your undeniable worth. You see them reaching for you, you hear them saying your name with longing, you feel their world dimming in your absence. And you persist in this vision, not with desperation, but with calm certainty. The more you dwell in this state, the more the outer world complies. You are not chasing them. You are becoming essential to them through the silent authority of your inner world. You assume the role of the one they cannot live without, and slowly, surely, that assumption writes itself into the script of your shared reality. You occupy their thoughts because you first occupied your own with the belief of your irreplaceability. It is not manipulation. It is creation through the lawful operation of consciousness. Assumption is not a one-time act, it is a way of being. You must embody the version of yourself that is unforgettable, that leaves an imprint so deep they cannot imagine their life without you. You rehearse this inner reality consistently until the distinction between imagination and experience dissolves. Your presence becomes so woven into the fabric of their existence that even when apart, they feel your energy lingering, your absence unsettling, your connection inevitable. The outer signs will come, they always do. But the origin of those signs is not the world. It is your unwavering assumption that within their reality, you are irreplaceable. You do not force this belief. You nurture it, protect it, and return to it as often as needed until it becomes your natural state of being. And from that state, the outer world has no choice but to reflect the reality you have altered within. Every relationship you experience, every connection that forms between you and another human being, begins long before words are exchanged or actions are taken. It begins in the unseen dimension of the mind, in that vast inner world where thoughts, emotions, and assumptions quietly craft the reality you later walk into. Most people go through life believing that love, attention, or emotional bonds are products of luck, coincidence, or external effort. But the truth is far more powerful. The deepest emotional dependency, the kind that makes someone feel they cannot function without your presence, is created in your imagination first. It is in the quiet sanctuary of thought that you plant the seeds for how others experience you. You must understand, people are moved by energies they cannot always explain. They are drawn towards certain individuals, miss them deeply, feel incomplete without them, and most never realize why. But the one who understands the law of consciousness knows exactly where that magnetic pull begins. It begins in the persistent, focused use of imagination. When you desire someone to feel your absence so intensely that their world feels unbalanced without you, you do not beg for it. You do not plead. You do not manipulate through external means. You craft that dependency in the unseen through the deliberate creation of emotional scenarios in your mind. You see, imagination is not passive. It is not idle. It is the workshop of your reality. The thoughts you nurture, the emotions you rehearse, the scenes you replay, these are the building blocks of every interaction you will later experience. If you continuously imagine yourself as dispensable, optional, or replaceable, the world will conform to that narrative. But the moment you saturate your imagination with the feeling that your presence is essential, that your energy is like air to them, necessary, irreplaceable, vital, the universe begins its silent rearrangement. Emotional dependency, the kind where someone cannot imagine a life without you, does not emerge by accident. It is woven through repetition, through the silent script you feed your subconscious mind. You imagine them longing for you. You hear them speaking your name with affection and desperation. You see the way they light up when you enter the room, how they ache when you leave, how their world feels dimmer, quieter, less vibrant in your absence. You do not do this once hoping for results. You dwell in this inner experience repeatedly until it hardens into fact. People think reality operates on randomness, but it never does. Reality reflects belief. If you desire to be so ingrained in someone's heart that their life feels incomplete without you, then in your imagination, you must already live from that truth. You must see yourself as the person whose presence electrifies their world, whose absence leaves a silence too loud to bear. You construct the emotional dependency through vivid inner scenes, through feelings so real that your body responds as though it has already happened. It may seem subtle at first, but make no mistake, this inner work creates a magnetic pull that operates beneath awareness. The person you focus on will begin to experience unexplainable waves of emotion. They will think of you in quiet moments. Your name will echo in their mind when they least expect it. A song, a place, a scent will trigger their longing for your presence. And they will not understand why, but you will know. You will know that long before the outer world conformed, the emotional dependency was birthed within the theater of your mind. Many try to force love, to demand attention, to control others through fear or manipulation, but those efforts crumble because they are rooted in insecurity, in the belief that they are not already worthy of such attachment. True power lies not in chasing, but in assuming the role of the one whose absence disrupts their very being. You must feel within yourself that your energy is indispensable to them, that your connection is woven into the foundation of their existence. And through that inner knowing, through that rehearsed emotional dependency, they begin to feel it too. It is not about arrogance, it is not about control, it is about understanding that reality follows the patterns of imagination. You do not ask if they miss you, you assume they do. You do not wonder if they need you, you dwell in the certainty that they feel lost without you. This creates a subtle yet undeniable gravitational pull. You radiate the energy of someone who is necessary, someone who is etched into their world so deeply that life feels off balance in your absence. When you hold this assumption, your behavior changes. You no longer seek validation, you no longer shrink in their presence, you no longer operate from lack. You move with quiet confidence, knowing that your connection to them is inevitable, your place in their life undeniable. And because of this shift, your energy becomes more attractive, more magnetic, more impossible to overlook. Over time, they begin to experience exactly what you have authored in the unseen. They feel your absence like a missing rhythm in their favorite song. They search for your presence in crowded rooms. They replay conversations, imagine scenarios, crave your energy in ways they cannot logically explain. But you understand, because you planted those seeds deliberately, repeatedly, with unwavering belief. This is not fantasy. It is creation through the disciplined use of imagination. The emotional dependency you desire from them is constructed first within you. And as you persist, as you dwell in that inner experience as though it is already complete, reality will have no choice but to comply. They will act, speak, and feel according to the emotional framework you have established within your own mind. They will find themselves needing you, missing you, desiring your presence so profoundly that a life without you feels unimaginable. The outer world is not separate from the inner world, it is its reflection. And so, when you desire to be essential in someone's life, to hold that irreplaceable place in their heart, you return to the only place that holds true power, your imagination. You see yourself as the one whose presence defines their happiness, whose absence disrupts their peace, whose energy cannot be duplicated or dismissed. And from that inner world, reality unfolds in perfect alignment. There comes a moment in life when you must abandon the exhausting cycle of chasing approval, validation, or recognition from others. You must step beyond the desperate energy of wanting to be noticed and instead step into the quiet, immovable power of embodying your worth. You see, the moment you chase, you affirm lack. The moment you beg for attention, you whisper to the universe that you are optional, replaceable, and incomplete. But when you learn to stop seeking and start embodying your value, the entire dynamic shifts, not just within you, but in the way others perceive, feel, and respond to your presence. It begins within, as all things do. You cannot demand someone treat you as essential while secretly believing you are insignificant. You cannot magnetize their attention by vibrating with insecurity and desperation. The world and the people within it are mirrors reflecting back the beliefs you carry silently within your own consciousness. If you believe you must work for love, fight for attention, or earn your place in someone's life, life will continue to present scenarios that validate that exhausting effort. But when you decide internally to embody your worth, you no longer have to strive to be seen. They cannot help but notice you. Embodying worth is not arrogance. It is alignment with the truth of your existence. You were never created to be optional. You were never designed to be dismissed, overlooked, or easily forgotten. But the only way others recognize that truth is when you first hold it so deeply within yourself that it radiates from every word, every action, every silent presence you carry into a space. The one who embodies worth does not chase, they attract. They do not beg, they command through quiet, unwavering energy. Look around and you'll notice how many people live in pursuit of approval. They contort themselves, dilute their essence, and sacrifice their boundaries in exchange for fleeting attention from others. But attention gained through self-abandonment is empty. It never lasts because it was built on a shaky foundation of insecurity. True lasting magnetism is born when you embody the belief that your presence enhances the lives of those around you, that your energy is rare, and that your worth is not determined by the reactions of others, but by the state you carry within. When you stop seeking external validation, you become the source. Your energy shifts from grasping to radiating. You no longer wonder if they like you, if they miss you, if they see your value. You move, speak, and exist as though it is already so. And life, obedient to the inner convictions you carry, reflects that certainty back to you in unexpected, undeniable ways. It begins in the small, unseen moments. The conversations you have with yourself, the way you perceive your reflection, the silent thoughts that accompany your interactions. Are you shrinking to be tolerated, or are you expanding to be felt? Are you questioning your place, or are you walking with the quiet, knowing that your energy is indispensable? These internal patterns shape the external world more than any forced effort ever could. You must understand that people feel energy before they hear words. They sense the confidence or insecurity beneath your surface. When you are rooted in self-worth, you project an undeniable frequency that others cannot resist. They feel drawn to your certainty, your peace, your quiet power. You become magnetic not by convincing them, but by being so anchored in your own value that they naturally gravitate toward you. This is where true influence begins. You no longer need to manipulate circumstances or chase after people to feel significant. You become the standard by which they measure connection. Your energy speaks louder than words. Your absence leaves a noticeable void. Your presence enhances the atmosphere without effort. But it only happens when you stop seeking confirmation of your worth and start embodying it as your natural state. Most people carry the subtle belief that they are not enough as they are. They believe they must earn love, prove their value, or compete for attention. But those beliefs are illusions born from unawareness. You do not have to fight for what is already yours. You do not have to beg to be recognized when your existence is already evidence of your worth. But to experience that truth in your reality, you must first assume it within yourself. Imagine walking into every room, every situation, with the quiet, unwavering belief that your presence enhances the space, that your energy adds value, that your essence is felt, remembered, and sought after. You no longer chase anyone because you understand. The right people, those meant to experience your energy, will feel drawn to you without effort. And those who overlook you are not rejecting your worth, they are reflecting the old discarded beliefs you once carried. Here, when you stop seeking validation, you reclaim your energy. You are no longer at the mercy of external opinions or temporary approval. You radiate from within. You move as though you are already the one they cannot imagine life without. You act not out of need, but from the fullness of knowing your presence is valuable beyond measure. From Asadis Kelewa. But this does not mean you ignore others or live in isolation. It means you no longer operate from lack. You engage from abundance. You give your time, your love, your energy, but you never hand over your worth in exchange for temporary affection. You understand your value is inherent, unshakable, and seen first within yourself before the world reflects it back. In this state, rejection loses its power. You no longer crumble when someone overlooks you because you understand. Your worth was never dependent on their recognition. You remain anchored, steady, certain. And from this place of quiet self-possession, life begins to rearrange itself. People feel your absence, they notice your energy, they crave your presence. Not because you demanded it, but because you embodied it. It is not a performance, it is not a tactic. It is a return to the truth of who you are beneath the noise of insecurity and the distractions of seeking. When you live from that truth, you no longer wonder if you are enough. You no longer chase after validation or compete for space in someone's life. You become the gravitational force that shapes the environment. You move as though your presence matters, and inevitably it does. You act as though you cannot be replaced, and reality mirrors that belief back to you again and again. There is something profoundly magnetic about the combination of mystery and confidence. It is the unspoken force that draws people closer, keeps them intrigued, makes them wonder about you long after you've left the room. When you embody both, you create an energy that is almost impossible to resist. But most people make the mistake of projecting one without the other, and as a result, they either repel or bore those around them. Confidence without mystery feels predictable. Mystery without confidence feels unstable. But when you fuse the two together within yourself, you become the very thing they cannot forget, the presence they cannot explain, yet crave deeply. Confidence in its purest form is not arrogance. It is the quiet, unshakable knowing that your presence holds weight, that your energy matters, that your worth is not determined by anyone outside of you. It is the way you carry yourself, the way you speak with ease, the way you move through the world without needing constant reassurance. Confidence whispers to others that you belong, that you are certain, that you are unbothered by doubt. It anchors you. It gives your present substance. But mystery is the space you intentionally leave unfilled. It is the art of not revealing everything, not being fully available, not allowing yourself to be entirely predictable. It is the pause in your responses, the subtle withholding of details, the unspoken layers that suggest there is more beneath the surface, more that they desperately want to uncover but cannot access all at once. When you radiate both mystery and confidence, people feel it without you saying a word. They feel it in your silence, in your posture, in the calm way you occupy space. You become the unanswered question lingering in their mind, the elusive thought they cannot escape, the unresolved curiosity that keeps them coming back. And here lies the power. People are drawn to what feels rare, elusive, and yet undeniably solid. They are captivated by the contrast of someone who is sure of themselves, yet remains intriguingly unreadable. The greatest mistake people make when trying to be unforgettable is overexposure. They reveal too much too soon. They seek validation through oversharing. They attempt to impress by laying everything bare. But mystery dies when there is nothing left to discover. And so does attraction. You must understand, the human mind craves contrast. It is drawn to depth, to unknowns, to the unfolding process of revelation. When you allow yourself to remain partly veiled, when you speak with confidence, yet leave room for curiosity, you awaken that craving within others. Think about those you have been most drawn to in your life. It was not the one who told you everything up front, who made their feelings obvious, who needed your constant reassurance. It was the one who left you wondering, the one who carried themselves as though they knew their worth, who revealed glimpses of their soul but kept parts hidden, inviting you to lean in, to question, to desire more. That is the energy you must cultivate if you want them to feel they cannot live without you. It begins within your imagination. You must first see yourself as that magnetic force, that confident, mysterious presence that lingers in their mind long after the moment has passed. You rehearse it mentally until it becomes your natural state. You imagine them wondering about you, craving your energy, replaying your words, feeling your absence like an itch they cannot scratch. You see them drawn to you without fully understanding why, and the world, as it always does, mirrors back the assumptions you persist in. When you embody mystery and confidence, you shift the dynamic entirely. You no longer need to chase, to explain, to justify your place in someone's life. Your energy does the work for you. You become the quiet storm that disrupts their certainty, the thought they cannot shake, the presence they seek, even when they try to distract themselves. This energy is not aggressive. It is calm, powerful, unhurried. It is the embodiment of knowing you are valuable and intentionally choosing to reveal yourself in layers. Most people misunderstand attraction. They believe it is built solely on physical appearance, shared interests, or constant communication. But true, lasting attraction is built on the foundation of emotional contrast, the dance between availability and distance, the interplay of certainty and curiosity. When you project confidence, they feel safe. When you carry mystery, they feel intrigued. Together, these forces create emotional dependency, the sense that your presence enhances their life, and your absence creates a void they cannot fill elsewhere. This is not manipulation, it is awareness. It is understanding the laws of human connection and choosing to operate within them consciously. You do not force anyone to feel drawn to you. You become the version of yourself that naturally evokes that response. And the more you dwell in that state, the more others respond accordingly. It is important to move through life with this dual energy, not as a performance, but as a natural extension of your inner belief. You do not need to script every word or plan every interaction. You simply hold the quiet knowing that your presence matters, that your energy is unique, that your worth is non-negotiable. And with that knowing comes the ease to leave space for mystery, to allow silence to speak, to reveal yourself gradually, leaving room for curiosity to bloom. You must practice this in every area of life, in your conversations, in your body language, in your responses. You speak with conviction, yet you do not feel the need to explain everything. You share parts of yourself, but keep sacred the depths that are yours alone. You allow others to wonder, to question, to pursue, not because you are playing games, but because you understand that mystery keeps desire alive. It fuels the imagination, and the imagination is where emotional bonds are forged long before actions follow. The one who is confident without mystery becomes predictable. The one who is mysterious without confidence becomes unsettling. But the one who fuses both becomes unforgettable. They live in the minds of others rent-free. They linger in thoughts. They haunt the silence. They become the standard by which all others are measured. And this energy, once mastered, cannot be faked. It must be built within, through the disciplined use of imagination and belief. When you assume this state, when you embody both mystery and confidence, you no longer wonder if they desire you, if they miss you, if they need your presence. You already know. You already see the world bending to that assumption, one interaction at a time. Reality is not a random sequence of events happening beyond your control. It is not an external force determining your worth, your relationships, or your place in someone's life. It is, in its purest form, a mirror, silent, unbiased, and obedient, reflecting with unwavering accuracy the state of consciousness you dwell in. This is why the question is never, how do I make them love me, or how do I make them miss me? But rather, what belief am I holding about myself, about them, about this connection that is being mirrored back to me right now? Most people live in a state of reactive existence. They observe their current circumstances, they see lack, rejection, or distance, and they accept it as the ultimate truth. But they forget, or perhaps never knew, that the outer world is only the after effect. It is the echo of prior assumptions, the physical representation of past beliefs. If you look around and see absence, neglect, or indifference from someone you desire to be close to, it is not because that is fixed reality. It is because somewhere within, that belief of being unwanted, replaceable, or insignificant has been nurtured, even unintentionally. But the moment you shift the inner state, the moment you assume a new role within the theater of your imagination, reality, like the loyal servant it is, rearranges to match the new blueprint. It cannot do otherwise. This is not wishful thinking, nor is it delusion. It is the foundation of creation itself. You do not beg the mirror to smile before you do. You smile, and the reflection follows. So it is with relationships, with love, with the emotional bonds that feel so elusive to many. When you desire to be irreplaceable in someone's life, when you long for them to feel your absence like a missing rhythm in their heartbeat, the first and only place to begin is within. You must saturate your consciousness with the assumption that you are already essential, already desired, already woven into the fabric of their existence. You dwell in this inner knowing, not for a fleeting moment, but consistently, unwaveringly, until it becomes the only truth you operate from. This is where so many falter. They allow the current outer circumstances, the silence, the lack of contact, the rejection, to dictate their internal state. But that is like trying to change the reflection in the mirror without changing your expression. It is futile. The world cannot reflect what you have not yet embodied. You do not wait for the call, the message, the invitation to feel chosen. You feel chosen first and the call follows. You do not wait for their attention to believe you matter. You believe you matter, and their attention bends to that belief. The mirror of reality is brutally honest, but it is also your greatest ally. It shows you without distortion the assumptions you have held, often buried beneath layers of doubt and fear. If you see inconsistency in their affection, trace it back to your own inconsistent belief in your worth. If you experience rejection, ask yourself where you have silently rejected your own value. The mirror reflects not to punish but to reveal, to guide you back to the source of your power, your inner world. The beauty of understanding reality as a mirror is that it frees you from the exhausting pursuit of external validation. You no longer need to manipulate, chase, or beg for recognition. You simply adjust the inner state, and the outer world follows like a shadow. You walk with the quiet, unshakable knowing that your presence is indispensable. You imagine them feeling incomplete without you, craving your energy, drawn to you with an intensity they cannot explain. And you persist in that vision even when the current reflection has not yet caught up. The delay between assumption and reflection is not a denial. It is simply the time required for the new state to crystallize, for reality to bend and mold itself into alignment with your dominant belief. This is where faith is required. The ability to remain loyal to the unseen, to trust the process of assumption even when the mirror has yet to reveal the new image. Imagine right now that you are already the person whose absence leaves a void, whose presence adds value, whose energy cannot be duplicated. Feel that truth within your body, not as a distant possibility, but as a present reality. Speak, move, and exist, as though they already feel your significance, as though they already replay your words, as though your connection is inevitable and undeniable. You are not asking reality to grant you this experience. You are instructing it through your unwavering inner state. People often marvel at how others suddenly change, how someone distant becomes attentive, how those once indifferent become deeply attached. But there is no mystery to it. It is the law of assumption in motion, the mirror reflecting the new belief. You have seen it play out countless times in your own life. Moments where by sheer certainty you expected a positive outcome and the world complied. The same law applies here. You do not need to convince the other person. You convince yourself. And the world, their thoughts, their feelings, their actions, recalibrates to reflect your new self-concept. This is not manipulation, for true manipulation stems from lack, from desperation, from the belief that you are powerless. What we speak of is alignment, the conscious, deliberate choice to dwell in a state where you are already essential, already valued, already occupying space in their heart and mind. And when you dwell there, reality, ever the obedient mirror, must reflect that image back to you in form, in words, in undeniable experience. It requires discipline, yes, and persistence, but the reward is unparalleled. You become the author of your own experience, the sculptor of your relationships, the unseen force shaping how others engage with you. You step out of the exhausting loop of waiting, chasing, questioning, and into the quiet power of creation through assumption. You see the mirror for what it is, not your enemy, but your greatest tool, your most accurate feedback, your clearest invitation to rise into the version of yourself who no longer wonders if they are wanted, but knows it beyond doubt. Have you ever stopped to consider the weight of your words? Not the ones you hurl at others in moments of frustration, but the whispers you utter to yourself in the silence of your mind. Words are powerful far more than we often acknowledge. They are seeds, tiny fragments of possibility, planted in the fertile soil of your heart and mind. And like all seeds, they either bloom into vibrant life or fester into something darker. The question is, what are you planting? Imagine standing in front of a mirror, staring deep into your own eyes. What do you see? A reflection of confidence, or a canvas painted with doubts, fears, and insecurities? Most people don't realize that the conversation we have with ourselves is the most important dialogue of our lives. Every day we are either building ourselves up with blessings or tearing ourselves down with curses. Think about it. When was the last time you spoke life into your own existence? When did you last declare, I am worthy or I am enough? Or are your days filled with phrases like, I can't do this or I'm not good enough? What if I told you that the universe listens closely to every word you speak over yourself, whether in moments of triumph or despair, and it responds accordingly? The truth is, words create worlds. Your inner dialogue shapes the trajectory of your life. To speak blessings upon yourself is not merely a feel-good exercise, it is an act of co-creation. You are aligning yourself with the divine power of possibility, summoning abundance, healing, and purpose into your life. It's not magic, it's the principle of truth. As the ancient saying goes, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. But here's the challenge: we live in a world that constantly tries to strip us of our sense of self-worth. We are bombarded by voices that remind us of our shortcomings, our failures, and our limitations. If you're not careful, those external voices can become your internal narrative. That's why it is essential to reclaim the words you speak over yourself. Because the words you speak have the power to transform, uplift, and ultimately define you. Let me ask you this: what if today was the turning point? What if this moment right here, right now, was your chance to rewrite the script of your life? Would you take it? Would you dare to declare blessings upon yourself, even if the world around you sees otherwise? I challenge you to take that step, because the way you speak to yourself will determine how far you'll go, how high you'll rise, and how deeply you'll heal. Transition to the key points. The practice of speaking blessings upon yourself isn't just about feeling good, it's about stepping into your God-given power. It's about harnessing the strength within you to create a life filled with purpose, joy, and fulfillment. Here are 7 signs that indicate you are truly speaking blessings upon yourself and living out the principles of self-empowerment. The dawn of each day is a sacred gift, a blank page handed to you by the Creator, waiting for you to write your story. And how you begin that story matters more than you realize. The first words you speak, the first thoughts you entertain, are like seeds planted in the soil of your soul. They will dictate the harvest you reap, not just for the day, but for your entire life. So I ask you, what are the words you choose to sow? When you open your eyes in the morning, you are standing at the crossroads of infinite possibilities. The divine has already prepared the path for your day, but it is your responsibility to align yourself with it. This alignment begins with what you declare over yourself. Imagine the power in saying, today is blessed. I am favored. I am capable of conquering every challenge and receiving every blessing. These words are not mere sounds, they are prayers, affirmations, and commands to the universe, declaring that you are ready to walk in the fullness of your potential. Think of it this way: when God spoke the world into existence, He began with words. Let there be light, and there was light. Words have creative power because they originate from a divine source. When you speak positively over yourself, you are tapping into this creative power, aligning your spirit with the Creator's original design for you to prosper, to thrive, and to live a life of purpose. Now let's talk about the opposite. How often do we sabotage our mornings with complaints and doubts? I'm so tired, I can't handle this day. These statements may seem harmless, but they carry weight. They set the tone for your day, embedding negativity into your spirit before you even step out of bed. Remember, your words carry authority. They are either building a bridge toward your destiny or erecting barriers that keep you stagnant. So how do you shift this? You start by consciously choosing to begin each day with declarations that reflect the truth of who you are in the eyes of God. You remind yourself that you are fearfully and wonderfully made, Psalm 139:14. That you are the head and not the tail, Deuteronomy 28:13. That you are more than a conqueror through Him who loves you, Romans 8:37. These are not just words, they are promises. They are eternal truths designed to ignite your faith and propel you into action. Imagine waking up and immediately declaring, "This is the day that the Lord has made, I will rejoice and be glad in it," Psalm 118:24. Can you feel the power in that? It's not just an affirmation, it's a declaration of dominion over the day. You are choosing to see the day as an opportunity, a gift rather than a burden. And when you speak these words, heaven listens. The spiritual realm aligns with your faith-filled declarations, and you find yourself equipped with strength, focus, and determination to handle whatever comes your way. But it doesn't stop at speaking. Your declarations must be rooted in belief. Faith is the foundation of every positive word you utter. When you declare, "I am strong," you must believe that the strength comes not from your own efforts but from the divine source that sustains you. When you say, "I am blessed," you are acknowledging that every good thing comes from God, and He is working all things together for your good. Romans 8:28. Here's a practical step. Begin your day by standing before a mirror and speaking directly to yourself. Look yourself in the eyes and say, "I am chosen. I am equipped. I am walking in divine favor today." At first it may feel awkward, especially if doubt or insecurity has been your default. But over time you will notice a shift. The words you speak will take root, and you will start to see yourself as God sees you, worthy, capable, and destined for greatness. The morning is not a time for haste or worry, it is a time for communion with the divine. Before you check your phone, before you think about the day's demands, pause and speak blessings over your life. Let your words be like arrows, aimed directly at your goals and dreams. Declare abundance, health, peace, and joy. Speak as if you already have what you desire, because faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. Hebrews 11:1. And here's the beauty of it: as you begin each day with positive declarations, you will notice a ripple effect. Your words will start shaping your thoughts, and your thoughts will shape your actions. You will walk with confidence, face challenges with resilience, and attract opportunities that align with the blessings you've spoken over yourself. Difficult times are inevitable. They come like uninvited guests, bringing storms of uncertainty, fear, and pain. But it is precisely in these moments of trial that your words hold the most power. When life presses you down and challenges seem insurmountable, what you speak over yourself and your situation becomes the compass that directs your journey. Speaking words of faith in the midst of adversity is not just a coping mechanism, it is an act of spiritual warfare, a declaration of victory even before the battle is won. Think about the story of David standing before Goliath. The odds were overwhelmingly against him. A mere shepherd boy, armed with nothing but a sling and stones, faced a giant trained for war. But before David acted, he spoke. He declared, "This day the Lord will deliver you into my hands." 1 Samuel 17:46. Those words weren't spoken from a place of arrogance, they were spoken from a place of unshakable faith. He saw victory in his spirit before it manifested in the physical world. His words aligned with his faith, and his faith aligned with God's power. Now consider your own life. When difficulties arise, how do you respond? Do you echo the negativity of your circumstances, saying things like, "I'll never make it through this," or "This is impossible"? Or do you declare, "With God all things are possible," Matthew 19:26? Your words are not merely expressions of your emotions, they are tools to shape your reality. When you speak words of faith, you are not denying the presence of challenges, you are denying those challenges the power to defeat you. In the middle of trials, it's easy to let fear dictate your language. But fear is a liar, a thief that seeks to rob you of your peace and hope. Speaking words of faith is how you confront fear head-on. It's how you remind yourself that the God who parted the Red Sea, who calmed the storm with a word, is the same God who walks with you through the valleys of life. When you say, "Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil," you are not just reciting scripture, you are declaring a truth that reverberates through the heavens and fortifies your spirit. But let's be real, speaking faith in difficult times is not always easy. It requires intentionality. It requires you to silence the doubts and negativity that try to dominate your thoughts. One way to do this is by anchoring your words in God's promises. For every fear, there is a promise. For every doubt there is a truth. When financial struggles arise, declare, "My God shall supply all my needs according to his riches in glory," Philippians 4:19. When health challenges come, proclaim, "By his stripes I am healed," Isaiah 53:5. When you feel alone, remind yourself, "He will never leave me nor forsake me," Deuteronomy 31:6. These declarations are not wishful thinking, they are acts of faith that pull divine strength into your situation. And here's the remarkable thing: when you speak words of faith, you don't just change your circumstances, you change yourself. Your spirit becomes resilient, your mind becomes focused, and your heart becomes steadfast. You start to see the storm not as a threat, but as an opportunity for growth. You begin to understand that every trial is a stage for God's glory to be revealed. Practical steps can help you cultivate this habit. When you feel overwhelmed, pause and take a moment to breathe. Then speak aloud, "This challenge will not break me, it will build me. God is with me and he is greater than anything I face." Start writing down faith-filled declarations and placing them where you can see them on your mirror, desk, or phone screen can also serve as constant reminders of the power of your words. Surround yourself with scripture, music, and messages that reinforce your faith, so when adversity strikes, faith becomes your reflex. And don't underestimate the power of gratitude in difficult times. When you thank God for what he has already done, you strengthen your faith for what he is about to do. Saying, "Lord, I thank you that you've brought me this far, and I trust you to carry me through," shifts your focus from the size of your problem to the greatness of your God. Gratitude is the soil in which faith flourishes. Speaking words of faith in difficult times is not just about changing the atmosphere around you, it's about inviting the supernatural into your situation. It's about standing firm in the truth that while life may be unpredictable, God's promises are unwavering. Your words become a bridge between your current struggle and the victory that lies ahead. So speak boldly, speak faithfully, and watch how mountains begin to move. Negative self-talk is one of the most insidious forces we face in life. It whispers lies in the quiet moments, planting seeds of doubt, fear, and inadequacy. It convinces you that you're not good enough, that you'll never measure up, or that you don't have what it takes to achieve your dreams. But here's the truth: negative self-talk is not your voice. It is the voice of fear, insecurity, and a world that seeks to diminish the greatness within you. Rejecting this voice is not just an act of self-care, it is a spiritual battle to claim the truth of who you are in the eyes of your Creator. You must remember that your thoughts are not random, they are reflections of the beliefs you hold about yourself. And when you allow negative self-talk to take root, you are agreeing with a lie. The scriptures tell us death and life are in the power of the tongue, Proverbs 18:21. And that includes the tongue of your inner dialogue. What you say to yourself matters, perhaps more than anything else, because it shapes your identity, your actions, and ultimately your destiny. So how do you reject negative self-talk? It begins with awareness. Pay attention to the thoughts that pass through your mind. When you hear yourself thinking, "I can't do this," or "I'm a failure," stop immediately. Take a moment to ask yourself, would God say this about me? If the answer is no, and it always will be, then you know that thought is not from Him. It is an attack on the divine purpose and potential He has placed within you. Once you've identified the lies, you must replace them with truth. This is where the power of scripture and affirmations comes into play. When your mind says, "I'm not good enough," counter it by declaring, "I am fearfully and wonderfully made," Psalm 139:14. When you feel like a failure, remind yourself, "The Lord is my strength and my shield, in Him my heart trusts," Psalm 28:7. These truths are not just comforting, they are weapons to dismantle the strongholds of negativity in your mind. It's also essential to understand that rejecting negative self-talk is not a one-time act. It's a daily, moment-by-moment decision. You are retraining your mind to think differently, to align with the truth of who you are in Christ. This requires discipline and persistence. Every time you catch a negative thought, Replace it with a positive declaration. Over time, this practice will rewire your thinking, and the voice of negativity will grow quieter and quieter. Think of it like tending a garden. If you leave weeds unattended, they will overtake the flowers. Negative self-talk is like those weeds, choking the life out of your dreams and confidence. But when you actively uproot those weeds and replace them with seeds of truth, your mind becomes a flourishing garden, full of beauty, strength, and possibility. This is the transformation that happens when you reject negative self-talk and replace it with words of life. One of the most effective ways to combat negative self-talk is through gratitude. When you focus on what is good, true, and beautiful in your life, you leave little room for negativity to take hold. Start each day by thanking God for your blessings. Say aloud, I am grateful for my health, my family, my opportunities, and the purpose God has for me. Gratitude shifts your perspective, helping you see your life through the lens of abundance rather than lack. Surrounding yourself with uplifting influences is another crucial step. What you feed your mind determines the quality of your thoughts. If you consume negativity, whether through media, toxic relationships, or your own inner dialogue, you will perpetuate a cycle of negative self-talk. Instead, fill your life with positivity. Read scripture, listen to motivational messages, and spend time with people who uplift and encourage you. As the saying goes, iron sharpens iron. Proverbs 27:17. Choose to be sharpened by those who see the best in you. Finally, pray. Bring your struggles with negative self-talk to God. Say, Lord, help me to see myself as you see me. Replace my doubts with faith, my fears with courage, and my insecurities with your truth. Prayer is a powerful tool to align your thoughts with God's promises. It reminds you that you are never alone in this journey and that His strength is made perfect in your weakness. 2 Corinthians 12:9. Rejecting negative self-talk is not about pretending life is perfect or ignoring your challenges. It's about choosing to speak life over yourself, even in the face of difficulty. It's about aligning your words with the divine truth that you are loved, chosen, and equipped for greatness. So every time negativity tries to creep in, remember you have the power to reject it, to speak life, and to walk boldly in the identity God has given you. Gratitude is one of the most transformative forces in life. It shifts your perspective, changes your attitude, and aligns your heart with the divine blessings that surround you every single day. When you speak gratitude over your life, you are not only acknowledging the gifts you've been given, but you are also opening the door to receive even more. Gratitude is a language of faith, and it carries the power to move mountains. Think about this. How often do we focus on what we don't have instead of cherishing what we do? The human heart has a tendency to yearn for what's missing, but this yearning can blind us to the abundance that already exists. When you speak gratitude, you are making a conscious decision to see the goodness of God in your life, no matter the circumstances. It's not about denying your struggles or pretending everything is perfect. It's about choosing to focus on the blessings that outshine the challenges. Consider the words of the Apostle Paul, "In everything give thanks, for this is the will of God in Christ Jesus for you." 1 Thessalonians 5:18. Notice that it doesn't say to give thanks for everything, but in everything. This is a powerful distinction. Even in the midst of trials, there are reasons to be thankful. Gratitude doesn't require a life free of hardship. It requires a heart that recognizes the hand of God even in the storm. When you wake up in the morning, the very act of breathing is a miracle worth acknowledging. How often do we take for granted the simple fact that we are alive, that our hearts are beating, and that we have another day to fulfill our purpose? Speaking gratitude over your life begins with these small, often overlooked gifts. Imagine starting your day by saying, "Thank you, Lord, for this breath, for this day, for the opportunities that lie ahead." These words set a tone of humility, joy, and expectation for what is to come. Gratitude also has the power to shift your focus from lack to abundance. When you speak gratitude, you are training your mind to look for the good in every situation. This doesn't mean ignoring reality, it means choosing to highlight the positives rather than dwelling on the negatives. For example, instead of lamenting a difficult job, you can say, I am thankful for the ability to work, to provide for myself and my family, and to grow through these challenges. This mindset doesn't just change your attitude, it changes your circumstances because you are aligning your words with faith and positivity. Gratitude is also deeply connected to faith. When you thank God for blessings you have not yet received, you are declaring your trust in His promises. This is the essence of faith, believing in what you cannot yet see. When you say, thank you, Lord, for the breakthrough that is coming, for the healing that is on its way, for the doors you are about to open, you are not just expressing hope, you are activating the power of God in your life. Gratitude becomes a declaration of victory, a statement of faith that what you've prayed for is already on its way. One of the most beautiful aspects of gratitude is its contagious nature. When you speak gratitude over your life, it spills over into the lives of those around you. People are drawn to a heart that is thankful, a spirit that sees the good in others in the world. Gratitude creates a ripple effect, spreading joy and positivity wherever it goes. Imagine how much brighter your home, your workplace, or your community could be if gratitude became your daily language. Practical ways to cultivate this habit include starting a gratitude journal where you write down 3 things you're thankful for each day. This simple act forces you to focus on the good and trains your mind to see blessings even in the mundane. You can also make it a point to speak gratitude aloud, either in prayer or in conversation. When someone does something kind for you, don't just think it, say it. Let your words reflect the thankfulness in your heart. Gratitude is also a powerful antidote to anxiety and fear. When life feels overwhelming and you're tempted to worry about what you lack or what could go wrong, gratitude shifts your perspective. Instead of focusing on what's missing, you start to see what's already present. Instead of worrying about tomorrow, you thank God for today. This practice doesn't eliminate challenges, but it changes the way you face them with courage, peace, and trust in God's provision. Finally, speaking gratitude over your life aligns you with God's nature. Our Creator is a giver of good gifts, and when we express thankfulness, we are mirroring His heart. Gratitude is not just about what we receive, it's about acknowledging the one who provides. It deepens our relationship with God, reminding us of His faithfulness and renewing our trust in His plans. Speaking gratitude is not just an act of politeness, it is a spiritual discipline that transforms your life. It opens your eyes to the beauty around you, strengthens your faith, and creates an atmosphere of joy and abundance. So let gratitude be your anthem, your prayer, and your declaration. Speak it often, speak it boldly, and watch how it changes everything. The words you speak have a profound impact, not just on yourself, but on the lives of those around you. When you choose to uplift others with your words, you become a vessel of encouragement, hope, and love, a reflection of divine grace. Speaking life into someone else is one of the most powerful ways to live out your faith and to align your heart with God's purpose. It's a ripple effect. The kindness you pour into others flows back to you in ways you might never expect. Think about the last time someone spoke a kind word to you, a compliment, a word of encouragement, or an acknowledgement of your efforts. Didn't it fill your heart with warmth, maybe even inspire you to keep going when you felt like giving up? That's the power of uplifting words. They carry the ability to heal wounds, ignite confidence, and remind people of their worth. Imagine the impact if more of us chose to intentionally speak such words every day. The scriptures remind us of this truth. Gracious words are a honeycomb, sweet to the soul and healing to the bones. Proverbs 16:24. Your words can be a source of healing for someone's broken spirit, a light in their darkness. But this requires intentionality. It's easy to let negative or critical words slip out, especially when we're frustrated or impatient. But uplifting others means choosing to be a source of encouragement, even when it's inconvenient or when they least expect it. Uplifting others with your words begins with recognizing their inherent value. Every person you encounter is made in the image of God, carrying within them unique gifts, potential, and purpose. When you affirm someone's worth, you're not just offering them a kind gesture, you're aligning your words with the truth of who they are in the eyes of their Creator. Saying something as simple as "I believe in you" or "you have what it takes" can remind them of their God-given strength and ability. It's especially important to speak uplifting words during times of difficulty. When someone is struggling, they don't need criticism or judgment, they need reassurance. They need to hear, "You're not alone," or "This too shall pass." These words don't magically solve their problems, but they can give them the courage to face another day. Remember, even Jesus, in his moments of greatest challenge, spoke words of comfort and encouragement to those around him. When we do the same, we reflect his love and compassion. Uplifting others doesn't require grand speeches or elaborate compliments. Sometimes it's the smallest gestures that make the biggest difference. A genuine, heartfelt "thank you for what you do," or "I see how hard you're trying, and it inspires me," can have a lasting impact. These words affirm people's efforts and remind them that their contributions matter. They plant seeds of hope that can grow into confidence and motivation. Another aspect of uplifting others with your words is offering blessings over their lives. When you say, "I pray that God strengthens you," or "May you walk in favor and peace," you're not just offering kind wishes, you're calling upon the divine to work in their lives. These words carry spiritual weight, affirming that you see their struggles but believe in their victory. Speaking blessings is a way of interceding for others, lifting them up in faith, even when they can't lift themselves. It's also important to uplift those who may not expect it: strangers, colleagues, even those who challenge you. Speaking life into someone who has hurt or frustrated you is not just an act of kindness, it's an act of faith. Jesus taught us to love our enemies and pray for those who persecute us, Matthew 5:44. When you choose to speak uplifting words in difficult relationships, you are breaking the cycle of negativity and reflecting the transformative power of God's love. Practically, uplifting others with your words can become a daily habit. Make it a point to acknowledge someone's strengths or accomplishments each day. It could be as simple as telling a family member, "I'm proud of you," or a coworker, "You're doing a great job." Look for opportunities to encourage those who may feel overlooked. The cashier at the store, the janitor at your workplace, the neighbor you pass by every day, each of them carries burdens you may not see, and your kind words could be the spark of joy they need. Finally, remember that uplifting others with your words is not only about what you say, it's about how you say it. Speak with sincerity, warmth, and intention. People can sense when your words come from the heart. And it's that authenticity that makes your encouragement truly impactful. When your words are infused with love, they carry the power to not only uplift but to transform. In choosing to uplift others, you're not just giving a gift to them, you're also honoring God. He calls us to build one another up, to be a source of light in a world that so often feels dark. When you speak life, you are partnering with the divine to bring healing, hope, and joy into the lives of those around you. And in doing so, you are planting seeds of kindness that will bloom into blessings both for them and for yourself. There is immense power in boldly declaring your goals and dreams. When you speak them out loud, you are doing more than just setting intentions, you are activating faith, aligning your spirit with purpose, and inviting divine intervention into your plans. Your words are a proclamation of belief, not only in yourself but in the one who has placed those dreams in your heart. To declare your goals boldly is an act of courage, a statement to the world and to yourself that you are committed to turning vision into reality. God often works through the words we speak. The Bible reminds us, "You shall decree a thing, and it shall be established for you," Job 22:28. This is not a promise of instant success, but an affirmation that what you speak with faith and conviction can take shape in your life. Declaring your goals out loud is a way of stepping into agreement with the divine plan for your life, acknowledging that you were created for a purpose and equipped with everything you need to fulfill it. Many people hesitate to speak their goals because of fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of appearing foolish. But when you let fear dictate your actions, you shrink your dreams and limit your potential. Boldly declaring your goals requires you to step beyond that fear and trust that God is working behind the scenes to guide you, provide for you, and open doors that no one can shut. It is an act of faith that says, I may not see the path yet, but I believe the destination is within reach. When you speak your goals and dreams out loud, you are not just expressing your desires, you are committing to them. Words have a way of holding you accountable. When you say, I will start my own business or I will write that book, you are making a promise to yourself and to God. This verbal commitment ignites a sense of responsibility, pushing you to take action and stay focused, even when the journey becomes difficult. Declaring your goals also brings clarity. Often the act of speaking your dreams out loud helps you articulate them more clearly. It forces you to define what you truly want and why it matters. This clarity is crucial because vague dreams rarely lead to meaningful outcomes. When you declare, I will create a life of impact by helping others, or I will achieve financial freedom to support my family, you are giving your goals shape and direction. Clarity fuels confidence, and confidence fuels action. Moreover, speaking your goals can inspire others. When you boldly share your vision, you give permission for others to dream big too. Your courage becomes contagious, encouraging those around you to step out of their comfort zones and pursue their own aspirations. Imagine how many lives you could touch simply by declaring, I believe I am destined to make a difference. Your words have the potential to plant seeds of hope and determination in others, creating a ripple effect of positivity and progress. It's also important to speak your goals in the language of faith, not doubt. Instead of saying, I hope I can achieve this, declare, I will achieve this. With God's help, faith-filled declarations acknowledge that while the journey may not be easy, you trust in God's timing and provision. They shift your mindset from one of uncertainty to one of assurance, reminding you that you are not walking this path alone. Practical steps can help you make this habit a part of your daily life. Start by writing down your goals and reading them out loud every morning. Let your words resonate with conviction as you declare, I am on the path to becoming who God created me to be. I will walk boldly in my purpose and achieve what I have set out to do. You can also share your goals with trusted friends or mentors who will encourage and hold you accountable. Speaking your goals and dreams doesn't mean ignoring challenges, it means facing them with confidence. When obstacles arise, your declarations serve as a reminder of why you started. They anchor you in your purpose and keep you focused on the bigger picture. If fear or doubt tries to creep in, combat it with affirmations like, God has not given me a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind, 2 Timothy 1:7. Let your words of faith drown out the whispers of uncertainty. Finally, remember that the act of declaring your goals is not just about speaking them, it's about believing in them. Your words must be rooted in genuine faith and conviction. When you declare, I will succeed in this endeavor, you are not simply expressing a wish, you are proclaiming a truth that you believe with all your heart. This belief is what drives you to persevere, to overcome setbacks, and to keep moving forward, no matter how difficult the journey. In boldly declaring your goals and dreams, you are aligning your words with your purpose, your faith, and your actions. You are stepping into the role God has designed for you, a creator of change, a vessel of impact, and a beacon of hope for those around you. Speak your dreams with confidence, live with intention, and trust that the divine power within you will bring them to life. Aligning your words with divine promises is one of the most powerful ways to live a life of faith, purpose, and fulfillment. The words you speak shape your reality, and when those words echo the promises of God, they carry a supernatural weight that can transform your circumstances, renew your mind, and ignite your spirit. This alignment is not merely a practice of positive thinking, it is an act of faith that connects you to the unchanging truth of God's Word. God's promises are abundant throughout Scripture, and they are meant to guide, encourage, and empower us. When you speak words that align with those promises, you are not just uttering empty phrases, You are declaring the truth of who you are and what God has destined for you. The Bible reminds us, "So is my word that goes out from my mouth. It will not return to me empty, but will accomplish what I desire and achieve the purpose for which I sent it." Isaiah 55:11. When you align your words with His promises, you are partnering with the Creator to bring His plans into fruition. This alignment begins with knowing God's promises. How can you speak what you do not know? Spend time in Scripture, meditating on His words of life. Promises like, "I can do all things through Christ, who strengthens me," Philippians 4:13. "The Lord is my shepherd, I lack nothing." Psalm 23:1, "And for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." Jeremiah 29:11 are not just verses to memorize, they are truths to live by. When you internalize these promises, they naturally flow into your words, transforming the way you speak about yourself and your life. Aligning your words with divine promises also requires intentionality. The world often speaks a language of fear, doubt, and negativity. If you're not careful, those voices can seep into your own speech. But God's promises are different. They are full of hope, assurance, and possibility. When faced with challenges, you must choose to speak His truth rather than the lies of the world. Instead of saying, "I'll never overcome this," declare, "I am more than a conqueror through Him who loved me." Romans 8:37. Instead of lamenting, "I'm not good enough," affirm, "I am fearfully and wonderfully made." Psalm 139:14. The practice of aligning your words with divine promises is particularly powerful during times of uncertainty. Life will throw challenges your way: financial difficulties, health issues, broken relationships. It's easy in those moments to let fear or despair take control of your speech. But this is precisely when aligning your words with God's promises becomes most important. Speaking His truth reminds you of His faithfulness and shifts your perspective from your limitations to His infinite power. When you say, "The Lord will fight for me, I need only to be still," Exodus 14:14, you are choosing faith over fear and trust over anxiety. Moreover, this alignment is not just about changing your circumstances, it's about changing you. When you consistently speak God's promises, they begin to renew your mind. You start to see yourself and your situation through the lens of His truth, rather than your doubts. Over time, this practice builds your confidence, strengthens your faith, and transforms your outlook on life. It's not about ignoring reality, it's about seeing reality through the eyes of the one who holds it all in His hands. Aligning your words with divine promises also has a profound impact on those around you. Your speech becomes a testimony of God's goodness, inspiring others to trust in Him. When people hear you declare, "God's plans for me are good, and He is working all things together for my good," Romans 8:28, they are encouraged to believe the same for themselves. Your words can become a beacon of hope for others, pointing them toward the promises of God and reminding them of His faithfulness. To make this practice a part of your daily life, start by incorporating declarations of God's promises into your routine. Each morning, speak aloud a scripture that resonates with you. For example, you might say, "This is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it." Psalm 118:24. Throughout the day, whenever you face a challenge, counter any negative thoughts or fears with a promise from God's Word. Write these promises on sticky notes, in journals, or on your phone so they are always within reach. Prayer is another essential component of this practice. When you pray, use God's promises as the foundation for your words. Say, "Lord, you promised to never leave me nor forsake me. I trust that you are with me now and always." Deuteronomy 31:6. This not only strengthens your faith but also deepens your relationship with Him. Prayer becomes a conversation rooted in His truth, reminding you of His presence and power. Finally, remember that aligning your words with divine promises is a lifelong journey. It's not about perfection but progress. Each day is an opportunity to grow in faith, to speak His truth more boldly, and to live more fully in alignment with His will. As you do, you will begin to see the extraordinary impact of His promises unfolding in your life. So speak His word, believe it, and watch as it transforms everything around you. As we journey through life, the words we speak become the echoes of our beliefs, the evidence of our faith, and the seeds of our destiny. To speak blessings upon yourself is not a small act, it is a powerful declaration that aligns you with the truth of who you are and the greatness you are called to achieve. Every word carries energy, authority, and divine potential. And when those words are spoken in faith, hope, and love, they become the foundation upon which extraordinary lives are built. We've explored the transformative power of positive declarations, the courage to speak faith in adversity, the discipline to reject negativity, the importance of gratitude, the beauty of uplifting others, the boldness of declaring your goals, and the life-changing alignment of your words with divine promises. These are not just principles, they are tools to reshape your life, your mindset, and your relationship with the world and with God. When you choose to speak blessings upon yourself, you are not denying reality, you are transforming it. You are not ignoring challenges, you are rising above them. You are not merely affirming wishes, you are partnering with the Creator to manifest His will in your life. The words you speak become the life you live, so speak them with intention, courage, and unwavering faith. As you leave this moment and step back into your daily life, I encourage you to reflect on the words you speak to yourself, to others, and to the world. Let your words be a testament to your faith, a declaration of your purpose, and a reflection of your gratitude for the life you've been given. Choose your words wisely because they hold the power to build, to heal, and to create. Remember, you are a child of God, endowed with His strength, His wisdom, and His love. Speak to yourself as He would speak to you, with kindness, encouragement, and belief in your limitless potential. And as you bless yourself with your words, let those blessings overflow into the lives of others, creating a ripple effect of hope, joy, and transformation. So today, as you move forward, may your words reflect the greatness within you, may they align with God's promises, and may they unlock doors to a life that exceeds your wildest dreams. Speak boldly, speak faithfully, and watch as blessings multiply in ways you never imagined. Go out and declare your destiny. The power is in your words. Use it to create a life of purpose, joy, and abundance. Close your eyes for a moment and take a deep breath. Can you feel it? That faint hum beneath the noise of your daily life? The whisper of destiny calling your name. It's not coincidence that you're here right now, listening to these words. It's not random that you've been drawn to this message. Something profound is happening in your life, and whether you realized it yet or not, this moment is the first step toward the transformation you've been waiting for. Your time has come. For far too long, you've been walking through the shadows of uncertainty, wondering when your breakthrough would arrive. You faced trials that tested your faith, moments that made you question if the dreams planted in your heart were even meant for you. But let me tell you something, those dreams weren't placed in you by chance. They are divine seeds, waiting to bloom into realities that far surpass your wildest imagination. The wealth, the abundance, the influence, they've been written into the blueprint of your life. But here's the question, are you ready to step into it? Imagine waking up every morning knowing that every challenge you faced was simply preparing you for this season of abundance. Imagine seeing the obstacles that once intimidated you crumble before your faith and perseverance. What would it feel like to live a life where your cup overflows not just with money, but with purpose, impact, and spiritual fulfillment? That's the life awaiting you. And today God is saying the wait is over. Your time is now. But let's pause for a moment. Ask yourself, why haven't you seen this abundance before? What has been holding you back? Could it be fear, doubt, a belief that you're not worthy of the riches and blessings that are rightfully yours? Or perhaps it's the nagging voice that tells you success is reserved for others, not for you. Hear this truth. Those thoughts are lies meant to keep you from claiming what is already yours. The millions are not just for the few, they are for you. This is not a call to greed or selfish ambition. This is a call to step into your divine inheritance, a wealth that is as much about the good you can do as it is about the life you can live. Because when God blesses you, it's not just for you, it's so you can bless others. It's so you can become a beacon of hope, a source of light in a world that desperately needs it. So I ask you again, are you ready? Are you ready to embrace the divine timing that has brought you to this exact moment? Are you ready to cast off the chains of doubt, fear, and limitation? Because your time has come. The abundance, the wealth, the opportunities, they are all waiting for you. But there's one thing you must do: listen. Listen to the signs, to the guidance that God is revealing to you. These signs are your confirmation that your breakthrough is here. Let us now explore these signs so you can recognize and act upon them. There is a kind of peace that cannot be explained in earthly terms, a calmness that sweeps over your soul, even in the midst of chaos. This is not the fleeting peace that comes from material possessions or temporary comforts. No, this is a divine stillness, a sacred reassurance that whispers all is well. If you've been experiencing this unshakable peace lately, understand that it is not accidental. It is a sign from the Creator, a spiritual confirmation that your time has come. This peace is not dependent on external circumstances. You may find yourself facing difficulties that would have once shaken you to your core: financial struggles, strained relationships, or moments of uncertainty. Yet now, those same challenges feel lighter, almost as if they no longer have the power to weigh you down. Why? Because the Spirit within you is preparing you for what's ahead. This peace is a shield, a divine armor that allows you to walk through the storms of life with unwavering confidence, knowing that God's plan is already in motion. Scripture reminds us of this in Philippians 4:7, where it is written, "And the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus." This is the kind of peace that surrounds you now, an assurance that surpasses logic and reason. It's as though your soul knows that the wealth, opportunities, and blessings you've been praying for are on their way, and nothing can stop them from arriving. When this peace takes root in your heart, it changes the way you perceive the world. The small irritations that used to consume your energy no longer matter. Petty arguments, temporary setbacks, or even the opinions of others become insignificant. This is because your spirit is attuned to something greater, something eternal. You begin to see life through the lens of abundance, not scarcity. You understand that what is meant for you cannot be taken away, and what is not meant for you will no longer hinder your path. This peace is also a form of preparation. It's as if God is telling you, "Be still and know that I am God." Psalm 46:10. The stillness in your soul is a sign that He is working behind the scenes, orchestrating events and aligning circumstances in your favor. In this state of peace, you are better able to hear His voice and follow His guidance. You are no longer reacting to life's challenges out of fear, but responding with faith and wisdom. It is in this peace that clarity begins to emerge. Decisions that once felt overwhelming become simple, as if a divine hand is pointing you in the right direction. This is not intuition, it is revelation. It's the Spirit guiding you toward the next steps in your journey, ensuring that every move you make is aligned with your higher purpose. When you experience this kind of peace, you will also notice a shift in your energy. You are no longer drained by worry or consumed by anxiety. Instead, you are energized by the quiet assurance that something extraordinary is unfolding. This is the peace that allows you to rise each day with confidence, even when the road ahead is uncertain. It is the peace that reminds you that no matter what happens, you are in the hands of a loving and abundant Creator. Finally, this peace serves as a beacon. Others will begin to notice the change in you, your calm demeanor, your quiet strength, and your unwavering faith. They may not understand it, but they will be drawn to it, sensing that there is something different about you. This is because the peace of God is contagious. It radiates from you, touching the lives of those around you and inspiring them to seek the same stillness in their own hearts. This deep inner peace is not just a feeling, It is a sign, a divine signal that your time has come. It is God's way of telling you to trust, to remain steadfast, and to prepare yourself for the blessings that are already on their way. This peace is your foundation, your anchor, and your confirmation that you are exactly where you are meant to be. Have you ever noticed certain symbols or patterns repeatedly appearing in your life, almost as if the universe itself is trying to get your attention? These are not random occurrences or coincidences, they are divine messages, signals from God meant to awaken you to the truth that your time has come. When you see these recurring patterns, whether in dreams, numbers, or unexpected moments, they carry a deeper meaning, a spiritual confirmation that you are aligned with your divine purpose. For centuries, people of faith have understood that God speaks to us in various ways, and one of the most profound is through repetition. When something keeps showing up in your life, it is as though the Creator is emphasizing a lesson, a direction, or a promise. Numbers like 111, 333, or 777, for instance, often symbolize divine order, completion, or spiritual awakening. You may find yourself seeing these numbers on clocks, license plates, or receipts, and each instance feels oddly significant. Pay attention. This is not mere happenstance, it is an invitation to recognize the divine orchestration at work in your life. Dreams, too, are a powerful medium through which these symbols and patterns emerge. Perhaps you've been dreaming of open doors, staircases, or light breaking through darkness. These images are not random. They are God's way of communicating that a new season is upon you. In Scripture, dreams have always been a sacred channel for revelation. From Joseph interpreting Pharaoh's dreams to Daniel receiving visions of future glory. The patterns in your dreams are evidence that the Creator is preparing your heart and mind for what is to come. Even in your waking life, symbols may manifest in the most unexpected ways. A phrase spoken by a stranger, a song that resonates deeply, or an image that seems to follow you wherever you go, these are not coincidences. They are reminders placed in your path to reaffirm that the blessings destined for you are already in motion. God is drawing your attention to these patterns because He knows the human mind is easily distracted. These recurring symbols are a divine way of saying, "Look here, focus on this. I am with you, and your breakthrough is near." But recognizing these signs requires a heightened sense of awareness. Many people dismiss these patterns as mere quirks of chance, missing the profound messages embedded within them. Don't be one of them. Instead, cultivate a heart that is attuned to the spiritual realm. Pray for discernment, asking God to reveal the meaning behind the symbols you're seeing. Meditate on their significance, and let them guide your decisions and actions. When you start noticing these patterns, you may also find yourself experiencing a shift in perspective. What once seemed ordinary will now feel extraordinary. You'll begin to see God's hand in every detail of your life, from the smallest coincidence to the most life-changing events. This heightened awareness will fill you with a sense of wonder and gratitude as you realize that you are not alone in this journey. The Creator is actively working to guide you, to reassure you, and to lead you toward the abundance that is rightfully yours. These recurring patterns are also a test of your faith and obedience. Will you ignore them, dismissing them as random events? Or will you embrace them, seeing them for what they truly are, divine instructions? The choice is yours, but remember, these signs are a gift. They are a reminder that God is always communicating with you, even when you feel distant or disconnected. By paying attention to these patterns, you are affirming your trust in His plan and opening yourself to the blessings He has prepared for you. As you recognize these symbols, you may also notice that they often coincide with pivotal moments in your life. They appear when you're on the verge of a breakthrough, when you're about to make a critical decision, or when you need reassurance that you're on the right path. This is not a coincidence. These patterns are strategically placed to guide you toward your destiny, to remind you that every step you take is divinely ordained. So if you've been seeing recurring symbols and patterns in your life, don't ignore them. Instead, embrace them as sacred messages from God. They are a sign that your time has come, a confirmation that the abundance you've been seeking is within reach. These patterns are the Creator's way of telling you to stay the course, to remain faithful, and to trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. When you find doors opening effortlessly, pathways becoming clear, and opportunities appearing seemingly out of nowhere, take note, this is not random chance, it is divine alignment. Unexpected opportunities are one of the clearest signs that your time has come. These moments are not accidents, they are carefully orchestrated by God, designed to propel you into your purpose and unlock the abundance you've been waiting for. Think about it. How often have you longed for a breakthrough, prayed for a way forward, and yet felt stuck, as if nothing was moving? And then suddenly the phone rings, an email arrives, or someone crosses your path with an offer or idea that feels too good to be true. These moments are answers to your prayers, signs that the heavens are aligning circumstances in your favor. But here's the catch, these opportunities will often arrive in unexpected forms. They may not look like the grand, dramatic breakthroughs you envisioned. Instead, they may come as subtle nudges, quiet invitations, or simple ideas that seem small at first, but hold the potential to transform your life. This is why discernment is so important. When unexpected opportunities arise, they often require you to step outside of your comfort zone. They may ask you to take risks, to trust when the path ahead isn't entirely clear. And that's where many people falter. They hesitate, questioning whether these opportunities are truly from God or just coincidences. But remember, Scripture teaches us that every good and perfect gift is from above, coming down from the Father of the heavenly lights, James 1:17. If the opportunity aligns with your purpose and values, if it feels right in your spirit, then trust that it is part of God's plan for your life. One of the most beautiful aspects of unexpected opportunities is that they often come through people. Perhaps someone you've never met before offers a kind word of encouragement that sparks an idea. Maybe a long-lost friend reaches out with an invitation to collaborate. Or perhaps a stranger extends a helping hand in a way that seems divinely timed. These encounters are not accidental, they are part of the intricate web that God weaves to bring His plans to fruition. Pay attention to these moments, and don't dismiss them as mere chance. Unexpected opportunities also come with a sense of urgency. They don't linger indefinitely, they require action. When God opens a door, it's not meant to stay open forever. It's an invitation, a divine window of time in which you must decide whether to step forward in faith. This is where courage becomes essential. You may not have all the answers. You may not see the full picture. But if you feel that inner nudge, the quiet prompting of the Spirit, don't hesitate. Step through the door, trusting that God will provide everything you need along the way. These opportunities are not just about financial gain or material success, they are about alignment. When God places something before you, it's because it serves a greater purpose in your life. It may lead to personal growth, a deeper connection with others, or a chance to use your gifts in ways you never imagined. Whatever form it takes, recognize that these opportunities are stepping stones toward the abundance God has promised you. Sometimes unexpected opportunities may come disguised as challenges. You may be offered a role or responsibility that feels overwhelming, or you may be presented with an idea that seems too big to tackle. But remember, God does not call the equipped, He equips the called. If the opportunity feels beyond your current capabilities, take it as a sign that He is stretching you, preparing you for something greater. Lean into the discomfort, for it is in those moments that you grow into the person you are meant to be. Lastly, gratitude is key. When unexpected opportunities arise, thank God for them, even if you don't fully understand their purpose yet. Gratitude is an act of faith. It shows that you trust His plan, even when the details are unclear. The more you thank Him for the doors He opens, the more attuned you become to His guidance, and the more opportunities will flow into your life. These unexpected opportunities are not random. They are divine appointments placed on your path to guide you into your season of abundance. Trust them, act on them, and watch as they lead you to a life filled with purpose, prosperity, and fulfillment. Your time has come. and the opportunities before you are the evidence. There is a profound shift that occurs within your soul when you begin to feel an overwhelming sense of gratitude, even when your circumstances remain unchanged. This gratitude is not tied to material possessions or visible outcomes. It is a deep spiritual awareness that something extraordinary is happening behind the scenes. When you feel this kind of gratitude swelling within you, unprovoked and unstoppable, it is a clear sign that your time has come. God is stirring your heart, preparing you to receive the abundance He has promised. Gratitude is more than an emotion, it is a spiritual practice, a declaration of faith that proclaims, I trust that what God has planned for me is already on its way. This overwhelming gratitude is often inexplicable. You may find yourself waking up with a sense of joy and thankfulness, even when life's challenges persist. It is as if your spirit knows what your eyes cannot yet see, that blessings beyond your imagination are already set in motion. This gratitude becomes a lens through which you view the world. What once seemed like burdens now feel like blessings. The difficulties you've endured no longer weigh you down. Instead, they serve as reminders of the strength and resilience you've built along the way. You begin to see God's fingerprints in every aspect of your life, in the small, quiet moments as well as the grand, transformative ones. This shift in perspective is not just a change in mindset, it is evidence that you are aligning with God's plan for your life. Gratitude also acts as a magnet for blessings. When you express gratitude, you are acknowledging God's provision, even before it manifests. This act of faith creates a powerful spiritual momentum, drawing more opportunities, resources, and connections into your life. As it is written in 1 Thessalonians 5:18, give thanks in all circumstances, for this is God's will for you in Christ Jesus. When you give thanks, even in the waiting, you are stepping into God's will, positioning yourself to receive His promises. This overwhelming gratitude often accompanies a sense of clarity and purpose. As you reflect on your life, you begin to see how every trial, every setback, and every delay was part of a divine plan to prepare you for this season of abundance. The gratitude you feel is not just for what is coming, it is for what has already been. You recognize that every step of your journey, even the painful ones, was necessary to bring you to this moment. This understanding deepens your faith and strengthens your resolve to move forward with confidence. Gratitude also transforms your relationships. When you are overwhelmed with thankfulness, it radiates outward, influencing the way you interact with others. You become more patient, more compassionate, and more willing to give of yourself. This shift in energy not only enriches your existing relationships but also attracts new ones that align with your purpose. People are drawn to the light that gratitude brings, sensing that you are someone who walks in faith and abundance. Moreover, this overwhelming gratitude prepares your heart to receive the blessings God has in store for you. Without gratitude, abundance can feel hollow and success can become a burden. But when your heart is filled with thankfulness, every blessing becomes a source of joy and a tool for greater impact. Gratitude grounds you, reminding you that the millions, the opportunities, and the influence are not the end goal, they are a means to fulfill your divine purpose and serve others. This kind of gratitude is not something you can force or fabricate, it is a gift from God. It arises naturally when you are in alignment with His plan, when you trust Him fully and surrender your worries to His will. If you are experiencing this overwhelming gratitude, know that it is a sign, a sacred confirmation that your time has come. The blessings you have been praying for are on their way, and your heart is being prepared to receive them with humility and grace. Let this gratitude guide you. Let it remind you that you are not alone, that every step you take is part of a divine orchestration. And most importantly, let it inspire you to live each day with a sense of wonder and expectancy, knowing that the best is yet to come. This gratitude is your assurance that God's promises are true, and your season of abundance has already begun. One of the most telling signs that your time has come is a noticeable shift in the dynamics of your relationships. This is not a coincidence, it is a deliberate part of God's plan to prepare you for the blessings and responsibilities that lie ahead. As you step into your divine season, the people in your life will begin to shift. Some will naturally drift away, while others will step in to walk alongside you on this new path. This is a spiritual pruning, a process designed to make room for growth, clarity, and alignment with your higher purpose. Relationships are often mirrors of our internal state. When God begins to elevate you, the energy and mindset of those around you will either align with your growth or resist it. Those who are not meant to continue with you on this journey may start to fade from your life. This can be painful, especially if these individuals have been part of your story for a long time. But understand this, their departure is not rejection, it is redirection. God is removing people who no longer serve your purpose to make space for those who will support, inspire, and elevate you. During this shift, you may notice that certain relationships feel strained or uncomfortable. This is because the vibrational energy between you and others is no longer in harmony. As you grow spiritually, emotionally, and mentally, those who are unwilling or unable to grow with you may begin to distance themselves. This is not something to fear or resist. Instead, it is a sign that you are stepping into a new season, a season where only those aligned with your vision and purpose can walk with you. At the same time, new connections will emerge. These relationships will feel effortless, uplifting, and deeply meaningful. You may meet people who share your values, who understand your journey, and who inspire you to become the best version of yourself. These are divine connections placed in your life to help you achieve your purpose and fulfill your destiny. Pay attention to these individuals. They are not here by accident. They are part of God's provision for this new chapter of your life. This shift in relationships also requires discernment. Not everyone who enters your life during this time will have pure intentions. Some may be drawn to the blessings and abundance you are stepping into rather than the person you are. Pray for wisdom to distinguish between those who are truly meant to walk with you and those who are not. Remember, do not be deceived. Bad company corrupts good character. 1 Corinthians 15:33. Guard your heart and trust God to reveal the true nature of those around you. This process of relational transformation can also challenge your sense of loyalty. You may feel obligated to hold on to people from your past, even when it's clear that their presence is hindering your growth. Understand this, letting go is not betrayal. It is obedience to the divine plan for your life. You can release these relationships with love, knowing that their season in your life has served its purpose. Trust that God will take care of them just as He is taking care of you. The shift in relationships is also an opportunity for self-reflection. It prompts you to examine the kind of energy and influence you are allowing into your life. Are the people around you building you up or tearing you down? Do they inspire you to dream bigger, to work harder, and to trust God more deeply? Or do they drain your energy and plant seeds of doubt? These questions are crucial as you move into your season of abundance. Your relationships should reflect the greatness that God is calling you to. Finally, this shift prepares you for the responsibilities that come with abundance. The millions, the opportunities, the influence, they are not just for your benefit. They are tools for impact meant to be shared and multiplied for the greater good. To steward these blessings well, you need a community of like-minded individuals who will hold you accountable, encourage your faith, and keep you grounded. God is aligning these people with your path, even as others fade away. So if you notice a shift in your relationships, do not resist it. Embrace it as a divine sign that your time has come. Trust that every connection, whether it is ending or beginning, is part of God's greater plan for your life. The people who are meant to walk with you in this season will come, and those who are not will go. This is not loss, it is alignment. It is preparation for the blessings and abundance that are already on their way. Your relationships are shifting because your life is shifting, and God is preparing you for something greater. When you feel an undeniable urge to give back, to serve others, and to contribute to the well-being of those around you, know that this is not a fleeting emotion, it is a divine signal that time has come. This strong desire to give is a spiritual transformation, a reflection of your heart aligning with God's purpose for your life. It signifies that you are no longer solely focused on your own needs and desires, but are stepping into the abundance mindset that understands the power of blessing others. Giving back is not just about material generosity, although that is certainly a part of it. It's about using the resources, talents, and wisdom that God has entrusted to you to make a meaningful impact. When you feel this strong desire to give, it's a sign that your spirit recognizes the abundance that is already flowing toward you. You begin to see yourself not as a reservoir meant to hoard blessings, but as a channel through which those blessings can flow freely to others. This desire to give often comes with a deep sense of compassion. You start to notice the needs of others more keenly, whether it's a friend struggling emotionally, a stranger in financial distress, or a community in need of support. What's remarkable is that this awareness doesn't feel burdensome. Instead, it fills you with a sense of purpose. You realize that your abundance, whether it is financial, emotional, or spiritual, is not just for your own benefit, but for the upliftment of those around you. The Bible reminds us in Luke 6:38, "Give, and it will be given to you. A good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, will be poured into your lap. For with the measure you use, it will be measured to you." This principle is not just about receiving more, it's about the transformative power of giving. When you give with a joyful heart, you are participating in God's cycle of abundance. This desire to give is proof that you are aligned with His divine will and are prepared to receive even greater blessings. Giving back also shifts your perspective on wealth and success. It no longer becomes just about accumulating money or achieving personal milestones. Instead, it becomes a tool, a means to make a difference, to heal, to inspire, and to build. You start to understand that true abundance is not measured by what you keep, but by what you share. This shift in perspective is a hallmark of someone who is ready to step into their season of divine abundance. This desire to give can also spark creativity and innovation. You begin to think about ways you can serve others on a larger scale. Maybe you feel inspired to start a charitable initiative, mentor someone who is struggling, or use your platform to amplify causes close to your heart. These ideas are not random, they are divinely inspired, meant to align your actions with God's greater plan for your life. When you act on them, you are fulfilling your purpose and preparing the way for even greater opportunities. It's important to recognize that giving doesn't always have to be grand or extravagant. Sometimes the most impactful gifts are the simplest: a kind word, a listening ear, a prayer. When you feel this strong desire to give, don't wait for the perfect opportunity or the right amount. Start where you are with what you have, and trust that God will multiply your efforts. Your willingness to give, no matter how small the gesture, is a testament to your faith and your readiness to step into your season of abundance. This desire to give back also attracts the right people into your life. Generosity has a magnetic quality. It draws others who share your values and vision. As you give, you will find yourself surrounded by a community of like-minded individuals who support and uplift you. These connections are not coincidental, they are part of God's provision, designed to help you carry out your purpose on a larger scale. Finally, this desire to give back strengthens your relationship with God. It reminds you that everything you have, your resources, talents, and opportunities, comes from Him. When you give, you are expressing gratitude for His blessings and acknowledging that He is the ultimate source of your abundance. This act of faith deepens your trust in His plan and opens the door for even greater blessings to flow into your life. So, if you feel an overwhelming desire to give back, don't ignore it. Embrace it as a divine sign that your time has come. This desire is evidence that you are stepping into a season of abundance, a season where your blessings will not only transform your own life, but also the lives of countless others. This is your confirmation that you are ready to receive, because you are willing to give. When a clear vision begins to take shape in your mind, it is one of the most profound signs that your time has come. This vision is not a product of fleeting imagination or idle daydreams. It is a divine revelation, a blueprint for the life God has planned for you. When this clarity emerges, it feels as though the fog of uncertainty has lifted, and you can finally see the path that was hidden all along. This is not just inspiration, it is direction. It is God showing you where to go and how to move forward. This clear vision often appears during moments of stillness or prayer, when you are most connected to the divine. You may feel a sudden rush of understanding, as if all the scattered pieces of your life have come together in perfect harmony. What was once confusing now seems purposeful, and what felt impossible now feels attainable. This is the Creator whispering to your spirit. This is the way, walk in it. Isaiah 30:21. Pay attention to this vision, for it is your divine map to abundance and fulfillment. The beauty of a clear vision is that it is not just a dream, it is actionable. It comes with a sense of urgency and purpose, urging you to take steps toward its realization. You begin to see the details, the steps you need to take, and the resources you need to gather. This clarity is a gift, but it also comes with responsibility. God does not reveal a vision without also expecting you to act on it. It is your faith, combined with action, that brings the vision to life. A clear vision also brings focus. It cuts through distractions and helps you prioritize what truly matters. You no longer waste time on things that do not align with your purpose. Instead, you are drawn to activities, people, and opportunities that support your vision. This focus is a sign that you are in alignment with God's plan for your life. It is as if the Creator is clearing the path before you, removing obstacles, and guiding you toward your destiny. A clear vision also ignites confidence. When you can see where you're going, doubt and fear begin to fade. You may not have all the answers or see every detail, but you trust that the pieces will fall into place as you move forward. This confidence is rooted in faith, in the knowledge that if God has shown you the destination, He will also provide the means to reach it. As it is written in Habakkuk 2:2, write the vision, make it plain on tablets, so he may run who reads it. Your vision is your guide, and your faith is your fuel. This clarity also acts as a beacon, drawing the right people, resources, and opportunities into your life. When your vision is clear, others are inspired by your sense of purpose. They see your determination and are drawn to be part of your journey. This is not by chance, it is divine alignment. God places these people in your life to help you bring the vision to fruition. Having a clear vision does not mean the journey will be without challenges. There will be obstacles, delays, and moments of doubt. But the vision itself will serve as your anchor. It will remind you of why you started and keep you moving forward, even when the path is difficult. This perseverance is a testament to your faith and a confirmation that you are ready to receive the blessings that await you. Finally, this clear vision deepens your connection with God. It reminds you that you are part of something greater, a divine plan that extends beyond what you can see or understand. As you act on your vision, you grow in trust, humility, and gratitude, knowing that the Creator is walking with you every step of the way. If you are experiencing this clear vision, embrace it with open arms. It is a sacred gift, a sign that your time has come and your purpose is unfolding. Trust it, act on it, and allow it to lead you into the season of abundance and fulfillment that God has prepared for you. This vision is not just your future, it is your calling, and the world is waiting for you to bring it to life. As we stand together in this moment, it is clear that your journey is not just about the steps you've taken, but about the transformation you are undergoing. Each sign we've explored, whether it's the deep peace within your heart, the symbols guiding your path, the unexpected opportunities opening before you, the gratitude welling up in your spirit, the relationships shifting around you, the desire to give back, or the clarity of vision has brought you to this realization: your time has come. This is your season of abundance, not only in wealth but in purpose, joy, and impact. The Creator has been orchestrating every detail of your life to prepare you for this moment. You are not here by accident. You are here by divine design. The millions, the opportunities, the influence, they are not the ultimate goal. They are the tools God has placed in your hands to fulfill a greater purpose, to bless others and to glorify Him. But remember, abundance does not happen by chance, it happens by choice. It requires faith, action, and obedience. It requires you to recognize the signs, trust in God's timing, and step boldly into the life He has prepared for you. You are being called to rise, to act, and to believe that what you have prayed for is already yours. The question is no longer, is it possible? The question is, are you ready? As you leave this moment, carry these words with you. You are chosen, you are capable, and your time is now. The signs have been given, the path has been revealed, and the blessings are waiting. Let today mark the beginning of a new chapter, one where you walk confidently into the abundance that has been promised to you. Stay faithful, stay focused, stay grateful. And most importantly, remember that God is with you every step of the way. The Creator does not call you to something He has not equipped you to handle. You were made for this moment. Step into it with courage and conviction. Go forth and claim what is already yours. The millions, the opportunities, and the purpose, they are waiting for you. Your time has come. Now go make it happen.